My name is Atticus Mars, and you're listening to In the Know, a podcast dedicated to the University of Minnesota. The U has a ton of intramural sports programs that run throughout the year. Students can take part in everything from basketball to hockey, or even a full-sized battleship game in the pool. But one common thread pulls all of these activities together: the spirit of competition. I've been playing intramurals since the first semester of my freshman year, but never in a super competitive division. To get an idea of the level of competition firsthand, I sat on the sidelines during competitive 5-on-5 intramural basketball, a league well known for its intensity and competitiveness. The games I observed were pretty civil and had good sportsmanship. The main issue I saw was the grief being given to the referees for the way they called the game. I spoke with Brady Taylor, a fourth-year finance and accounting student who has worked as a referee since he got to college. He told me that basketball is one of the most competitive and intense sports in the intramural program.
People definitely take intramurals very competitively. Definitely gets forgotten that intramurals is just supposed to be for fun. We're playing for a t-shirt at the end of the day. Yeah, I definitely got yelled at, both by players, by coaches in parentheses, because there really is no coaches, but some people think that they have coaches, by fans, whether the fraternity brings their fans to the game. Definitely been yelled at before. Very common, happens every night.
These student referees are indeed just college students, and they're getting paid far less than an actual referee would get paid to officiate a game.
And there's been a couple frat games where, you'll get called names and people forget that you're just a student as well, so, they'll stand up and try to get in your face or say they'll cuss at you. Never had any fist fights, but you'll get pushing, shoving, cussing, people calling each other names that should not be repeated.
The first game I watched that night was between the Nuns and Greg's son. Some pretty fun names. This game was played at a very high level. Reese Carey, an undecided second-year student on the Nuns, agreed with me.
After not being on a team anymore, a lot of guys just need somewhere to bring that competitiveness out. I think that there's a little skill gap between the higher level guys and just the guys doing it for fun. But in the competitive league, it's for sure you could definitely compare it to some schools like varsity basketball.
Carey's team ended up losing the game, but for him, winning is not the only thing that matters.
And it gets you active. Sometimes, it's easy to skip the gym when stuff's piling up. But if it's people are counting on you to be there, it's just a really great outlet for physically moving, sweating, and it's just fun.
These games are definitely a great way to get your cardio in. But despite this sentiment, these intramural games can get intense and sometimes lead to bad blood. A player on Greg's son, Tommy Lee, a fifth-year student, told me that he has experienced some feisty games in the time that he spent playing intramural basketball.
They had this big guy who was really, really soft, and he was calling everything that probably wasn't a foul, and it was just all a bunch of arguments about if it was a foul, if it wasn't. And basically it just ended in just bodies on bodies, and then they won because we were beat, and the kid grabs the ball and chucks it into my chest and says, "Hey, good game," and then slaps me in the chest.
Interactions like those are not uncommon in these games. Something seen less often is fights, but they can happen.
Our freshman year, we had a 5v5 game, and our other buddy was getting chirpy with another guy, and basically a fight broke out, and we had to separate the teams. The other guy got teed up because he shoved our guy after a play. It's intramural, so the refs miss a lot of calls, which can make teams frustrated, and then it gets pretty physical when they don't call stuff. So
when I asked him why people take intramural sports so seriously, Lee echoed Carey's point of view.
I think it's because it's all we got now, so and we're guys, so we're competitive, and especially in comp league, this is our form of competition. It seems silly to get into it, and the older I've gotten, the more I've learned to just try to have fun with it. But I do understand get into it because it's it's just you're signing up for competition and you're wanting competition.
Basketball is definitely one of the most competitive intramural sports, and right along with it is soccer. I spoke with Leo Beal, a third-year logistics, materials, and supply chain management major, about his experiences officiating on the field.
Yeah, I've been reffing and supervising intramurals for like 2 years now, and I've come across a lot of conflicts, and one of them was actually a physical fight at the Dome, which involved players getting way too over-competitive and saying extremely hurtful things about each other, and it resulted in punches being thrown, and immediately we had to break it up, and people were thrown to the ground. And it's really a situation that, nobody ever wants to be in, but it just happens, and it's kind of crazy that something as simple and, friendly as an intramural game can get physical, and it really hurts the integrity of the intramural program.
The incident resulted in the suspension of a player and the banning of both teams from the playoffs that term. Beal told me that soccer is one of the most competitive and physical sports he's refereed.
They kind of push aside the friendliness of soccer and really just care about winning, and the competitive nature really gets to them, and sometimes it turns into that physical conflict.
Copacabana is one of the most well-known intramural teams in the campus soccer community. They stand out compared to others because of their bright yellow Brazilian national team jerseys and outspoken nature towards the refs. I spoke with one of their players, Kian Mehrayan, a third-year finance major, about why they play intramurals.
Well, we all grew up playing in competitive leagues. I play in the UPSL league. A number of guys do as well. We have one player who played professionally overseas, so we felt that this was the best challenge for us. Just a way to keep playing every week. We don't have to drive anywhere. We play in the field house as well, so we play twice a week. And our goal is to win as many championships as we can. We've won one here, one in the field house. We're looking to add a second for each.
Mehrayan and others on the team have played in the UPSL, or United Premier Soccer League, which is a developmental semi-professional league in the U.S. I watched one of their games at the Recreation and Wellness Center Dome. The Dome houses field space for soccer, flag football, other intramurals, and some club sports. Copacabana ended up winning a tight game, but tempers flared at halftime between teammates when the score was tied. Even competitive intramural leagues aren't thought of as very high level or intense by the general student population. At the end of the day, these are thought to be low stakes, low bar of entry sports leagues designed to keep people active. But that doesn't mean teams don't value winning championships.
But it's a challenge to be as good as we are every week. Being this good is not a guarantee unless we have the right habits. And sometimes we argue and fight and whatnot, but regardless, we're friends, we win, and we haven't lost a game all season. And this game was the first game we actually conceded a single goal in the Dome. So that's the expectation that we have for ourselves.
What do you think about reffing in intramurals?
Unacceptable.
Intramural sports serve as a competitive outlet for many students in the campus community. Sometimes these intense feelings of competitiveness needed to be a high school state champion carry over to college and intramurals, and that's okay. But students need to remain cognizant of the impacts of their competitiveness on teammates, opponents, and especially the student referees. At the end of the day, you're only playing for pride and a t-shirt. Thank you all for listening to this episode of In the Know. Intramural sports really are a great way to get outside, be competitive, and have fun with your friends. I'm actually on 6 teams, and if not for intramurals, I think I would be morbidly obese with the way I eat, because I can't run if I don't have a ball in front of me. Anyways, that's besides the point. This episode was written by Atticus Mars and produced by Atticus Mars and Cece Heinen. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, you can reach us at podcasting@mndaily.com. This has been Atticus Mars, and thank you for listening to In the Know.